Hello, 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 hello. This is the Poetic Perfectionist Podcast. I am your host, Sophia.
And I'm your other host, Abigail, but you can call me Abby for short.
How's it going?
I could be better. I'm a little under the weather right now.
Under the weather is an understatement. You sound like death.
And I feel it.
Well, on the other hand, you look good ish.
Thanks. I'd like to feel better so I can really bask in this presence.
Don't worry, girl. You'll get there. I believe in you because you can't afford to be sick these days.
Kidding me? Of course not. My insurance can't afford it.
It's always the insurance. It's always your health coverage that matters. But my friend, the week is almost over. How you feeling? We had a short work week.
Ugh, man. It was a short work week, but I'm kind of semi regretting I took the Monday off instead of taking today off. Because, like, today I feel like crap. Monday I was good, but I got a lot of things done. I washed my hair, which was a whole day process. I ran some errands. I should have been resting. Maybe if I had rested properly on Monday, I wouldn't feel so bad today, but that's beside the point. My body's against me.
She said her body's against her. Okay. All right. Enough with theatrics, my friend.
It's not theatrics, it's the truth. The truth.
You want me to break out a violin for you?
Very funny.
Because I could still do that for you if you like.
Very funny.
Any wild plans for the week?
I got work and more work. I got like a family function situation on Saturday after work. And then Sunday I'm hopefully trying to the best of my abilities to actually sleep all day. Wake up, go to mass, go home, just sleep all day. Nothing else but sleep.
Sounds like fun. Sounds like lots of fun.
It will be if I can succeed. Very fun.
You probably won't.
Well, you never know. You never know.
Listen, it sounds like you're going to have a very eventful week. So I pray that you get better. Pull yourself together, drink lots of tea.
I don't know about tea, but sure, I'll do that someday.
Okay. All right. I tried. So I know last time we touched upon about it a little bit. Actually, I want to start with an I can't with you moment, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been, as you know, you don't follow the news. You get your news from me, and I actually have to do the heavy duty work and get the news from everybody else. Gee, thanks. I appreciate that coming from you.
The sacrifice I make for you. The sacrifice I make for you.
Anyway, I was watching the news, and let me start off by saying that I hope and pray that they get everybody out safe and sound and alive. That's number one. Number two, basically, it's a story about these five individuals who paid $250,000 each to go on a Titanic tour, a submarine, not even a submarine. It's like
a Pringles box, with the little Pringles chips come in where it can only fit your arms in there and it gets stuck when it gets to a certain point. You can't get the last chip, so you got to tilt it over and do a little shake from the bottom. That's what it looked like.
Pretty much. To dive down and take a look at the Titanic that has been underwater since God knows how long. Well, they lost contact about an hour and a half into their tour, and they apparently can't locate the said tourists who paid $250,000 per head to do this wonderful quote unquote tour. I saw the little submarine thing, and these people have been ripped off. Basically, there's no tracker, there's no light, there's maybe some kind of makeshift toilet, maybe, which is really just like a water jug tucked away somewhere. Yeah. So you can only do number 1 and definitely not number 2. I'll tell you that. Um yeah, they lost them. They can't find them, and chances are the of them being able to find them within the next 24 hours is very slim because they don't have much air left.
Yep.
I think last I heard is like less than 24 hours.
Yep, that's what I saw too when I was reading up on it. You sent it over, and I was like, "What is this foolishness?"
And it got me thinking, right? Because I guess there was a part that you had mentioned where there were 2 employees that had voiced concerns prior to this foolishness that happened.
Years prior, they voiced their concerns about the structural soundness of this thing, this vehicle, this Pringle box.
And it got me thinking, as an employee, so I work in corporate, you work in corporate, it asks. So it's got me thinking, like, at what point do you care more about the product, the people, the society, whatever the case may be, than the boss owner of said company?
Ah, that is a tough question to answer because the only loyalty that I have is to that check coming in consistently to pay them bills.
She's only loyal to herself.
Because at the end of the day, if it was anything like those employees who voiced the concerns, who I'm assuming since they said ex-employees, that means they're no longer there. They either were fired or they left because they didn't want any blood on their hands from any accidents taking place after having voiced their concerns and was ignored repeatedly. Because that's just how it is with corporate. All they care about is how we getting the money in, how much money we get again. And it's like you at some point need to start thinking about like the safety of people and how this is going to affect other people, because they're the ones that's making you the profit. If you have no people, you have no profit.
Well, you do realize that at some point we'll all be replaced by robots in the workforce.
I don't know. I don't know about that because I saw that clip about that robot that they put in the factory to be doing the same thing over and over and over again. And unlike us humans, right?
Oh, it collapsed.
It ended itself.
It fainted.
It ended itself. This robot did a calculation and said, "F this," and shut itself down. It rather kill itself than continue this monotonous day after day, repeated after repeated situation than to continue doing this. While us human beings who have choices, soul sucking work, continue to do it. And then what do we get as a reward? To be replaced by machines with no feelings that have the capability to not be like, yeah, I'm gonna go on a smoke break. Just said F this, blow themselves up while they're still on the clock.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what is the purpose of that, because I get it. It costs money for, for each employee that you have. It costs a certain amount of money. You're paying each person, whether it's by the hour or by salary, it's costing the company money. So money's going out the door, but also you're expecting money to come in the door plus then some. Now, if you got all these robots that are just quickly falling and fainting, I have yet to see humans do that on the job. So the fact that robots are doing it, I'm like,
yeah, because with the humans, and it should be the same like the robots. You collapse today, your seat isn't even cold. They're already replacing you with somebody else. Business continues. Shop doesn't close down. Now, if the robot decides they want to off itself, that could cost you half the company if it decides to blow itself up. If it didn't just do like, if it wasn't like just a malfunction where it's like, oh, I'm just going to go to sleep, and the robot goes to sleep and it decides, nah, this shit's for the birds, and blows itself up. There goes half your company. Then how much money did you actually save?
but the point is, it shouldn't have blown up or fainted. It's a robot. It is a machine.
A machine that's made by humans. So there's always a flaw. There's always, an error. There's always a in between that it can, as a robot, can reason and get itself into. to do what it needs to do.
That's a shame. That really is a shame.
I mean, there was that incident with, what was it, China, I think it was, in this lab where they had built this robot and basically, just like in Terminator, killed several lab members. And then one robot that they had, so they took down a majority of the robots. One of them that they had shut down found a way to turn itself back on, connect to the Wi-Fi and satellite, and was downloading programs to improve itself and make itself even better than how it was made. So it continued to go on this rampage of killing more people. But still, we don't listen, we don't heed. We're giving way to the AIs, we're giving way to the robots,
the chat GPTs.
GPT. Well, we're about to be a Terminator situation before you know it. And we're the ones that will be opening said door of Pandora's box. Because people just don't know when to quit. So to answer your question, loyal to corporate? I think not. I think not. They're out here opening Pandora's box and unleashing hell on this earth. No, thank you. They won't even have time to even spend the money that they're trying to make. These profits that they want oh so damn much.
Yeah, but do you want to? I don't see you running out becoming an entrepreneur, which is just as stressful, if not even more work, because everything is on you.
You're right.
Payroll, human resources, you're the IT department, you're the front desk, back desk, up desk, maintenance.
I'm not saying it up, right? Listen, being an entrepreneur is not for everyone. Okay? It's just not. You have to
bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. I think that means money is coming in when you sneeze that many times.
I hope so.
Or bless you. Or was that when you scratch your hands?
I had always heard if the palm of your hands is itchy, that means money coming your way. If it's burning, some good amount of money. But who knows?
I digress.
What were you talking about?
You were saying, so entrepreneurs, we're not running out to be, not all of us are running out to become entrepreneurs.
Well, the thing is,
and that requires just as much work, if not more, than going to, sticking to your said 9 to 5.
Well, the thing is, right? People stopped thinking that they needed to get like career security and started thinking more and falling into that brainwash of job security instead. Okay? Job security, I'm not saying, don't worry about it, because bills have to get paid. Okay? Everybody has to do what it is. At the end of the day, everybody's making a decision of, what's that phrase? The lesser of two evils, per se?
Yeah.
Always have to make that decision and figure out, so what's their priority, what's important to them, and then go that way. So people's decisions are definitely driven by their need for survival. So I can't judge or say anything in regards to that because I'm basically doing the same thing myself. My reasoning for not doing the entrepreneur thing is because I recognize that while being my own entrepreneur does give me a lot of freedom, it also takes away because there's a certain amount of investment of your time and money and stuff that you have to do before you get to that certain point where it's like now you're reaping profits. You're making more than what you were making before. But it's not like within the confines of getting a salary that you can't very well, do well for yourself. You're getting paid. The difference between it's like you're doing a 95 or you're doing a, 8 to 4, whatever the situation may be for you, right? That salary itself may not be the best, but if you're in a position where you're making more than enough, that one check can comfortably cover all of your bills in 1 month, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you get paid bi-weekly. One check covers more than all of your bills in 1 month. That means you have a whole nother check and additional income that's coming in within that month. That 50% of that you could use to put that money to make more money for you. Ooh. Investments and other things. But people don't think about that because at the end of the day, it's like, oh, well, it's risky and it's true. It is risky, but it's like they said, there's no risk, no reward. So it's like you stay in with the straight path, and the safe side and this, that, and the third, right? And your counterpart or your coworker that's doing the same thing, getting paid same amount of you, but makes the decision of like, you know what, this is a little bit of extra money that doesn't put me in jeopardy of like my home, my clothing, my shelter, my basic necessities, and that doesn't put it in danger. I can still comfortably pay for these things, and this is a little bit of extra money that not only am I doing the traditional way of putting some for savings, but I'm going to take the chance as well, do my research, and also invest as well. Now 30 years or something go by, you went the safe route and you just put it in your bank. Now it's depreciating while the bank was been making money off of your money this whole time with nothing in return for you. But now this other counterpart was making the same as you. 30 years down the line, they have twice as much money as you, and you're trying to figure out, oh, how did this happen? Well, they took a different route. They took that risk. They took that chance to be able to do all that. Like,
So it sounds like they were their own investor.
Exactly. You have
with
to
their
invest
check.
in yourself, for furthering your education, and, do more research, read more, like whatever you're interested in, passion, invest in that. It doesn't have to be something that's like, like you see as being reckless, as like, oh, I'm just going to throw in the stock market. Oh, I'm going to just buy scratch tickets. Like, invest in yourself. Mindset, how you think about things, how you process things, like analyzing things. The reason why people are a lot scared about investments or anything related to business, or even being a part of anything business related or owning a share of stuff, is because they don't educate themselves. If you don't educate yourself, of course there's going to be a fear of the unknown. But the more you know, the more you educate yourself, the easier it will be for you to be like, oh, okay, I'm comfortable with this. This is within an area where it's like, I feel like I'm comfortable, I can do.
And you're doing it with money where if you risk it, if you run the risk of losing it, it doesn't set you back. Like you're not, that's safe play money for you.
Yeah. It's that same 300 you were going to spend on a girl's night or a few drinks or on one meal.
Yeah.
You give yourself an opportunity to be able to make even more than that. Why not take that risk? Like, you were going to spend it on something that wasn't going to give you much of a return except for memories that, while they are important, and to each person has, what's important to them or what their priorities are,
you're not getting a financial
return
on it.
Nope.
Is what you're saying. All right, that makes sense. And you're also setting yourself up for later to have a more healthier work-life balance.
Yep.
As well as setting some money aside or being smart with where you put your funds in terms of like retiring, because like I'm sure like you and me, with our parents, they're in their 60s, they're in their late 50s, 60s. They can't work like the same way like they used to when they were younger, when we were babies. They just can't, and they find themselves still working. And it's like retirement, they keep pushing the age of retirement back. I think like right now it's like 67 and a half or something like that. So like imagine being close to 70 and still working just to get by. No, I can't do that. I cannot do that.
That's horrible waking nightmare.
I can't imagine doing that. I don't even like it with my parents. My mom is retired, so she hasn't worked in a while. But my dad still doesn't. And it's just like, if he doesn't work, it's like, how does, like, he's got to pay the bills. He's got a roof over his head. He's got to support not so much me, but like my mom. It's like he still has responsibilities. You know, they like nice things. They still got to have it done. So it's like, if you don't invest or you don't properly understand your relationship with money better now, you set yourself up for a nightmare later.
Oh yeah. My thing is like, my dad had always told me, he's like, I never want you to be in this position that I am now. I work this hard to send you to school, to help you be able to put yourself in an opportunity to have that money mindset, to be able to do business, to see when an opportunity presents itself, so you don't have to be in this position that I am now. Yeah. I don't want this for you. I want better for you. And in order to do that, you have to educate yourself. You need to read. You need to open your eyes, see opportunities when they come, and take the chance. Because whatever, at the end of the day, if it doesn't fall out or doesn't become whatever you had hoped it would, it won't change the position that you're currently in.
Yeah. At the very least, you tried.
Yeah. You could say, oh, you know what? I tried this way. Maybe this way will work. You
Yeah.
never know. I mean, everybody's always talking about like people that had a later start in life and then still was successful, like Vera Wang at 50. You know, now she's like this big fashion designer and brand that people know all over the world.
She's a legend in the fashion world.
She just got the Nobel Peace Prize not that long ago.
See
I
what I'm
was
talking
like,
about?
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure she worked hard and deserved
She
it.
did.
But
Listen, you don't really reap the benefits of your hard work until later in life.
Yep. She started late. You know what? If she had never taken that chance to try to expand herself and do something else, where do you think she would be? Huh? Where do you think she would be?
Not winning that Nobel Peace Prize.
Nope. Probably not. But that's what you have to say. Always, the way that I've been taught and I've been told is always bet on yourself. Because either way, it will always be a winning bet. Whether if you're learning from the mistake and improving yourself.
Yeah.
Or you're succeeding in something. So now it gives you more ideas to do further things down the line.
Yeah.
Either way, betting on yourself is always going to be a win. Because it's always going to prove you as a person.
You gotta make a plan, execute. Make a plan, execute. Make a plan, execute.
Yeah.
And bet on yourself. Always bet on yourself.
See, that's the thing people forget. Corporate will never invest in you.
No.
Okay. I read this article where someone was like, oh, well, my job doesn't have, continue education or doesn't pay for you to go back to school or something like that. Why are you waiting on the job? They just need a body to fill this seat and do this work. Once you're gone, they're going to fill you with somebody else. You have to put the investment in yourself.
Mhm.
Okay. You can't wait on corporate. You can't wait on the big businesses or your job or something like that to take care of these things for you. You need to do them for yourself. Create those opportunities. Yes, they may not ask or written it down like, hey, we'll support these things or pay for further education. But have you asked? Have you brought it up to him like, hey, I saw this course, this, that, and the third, and, I really think it will improve me to be even better at this job. Maybe that will do something. And then the owner can be, oh, wow, you actually want to do well. This shows that you're not trying to leave. This shows that you're trying to be here for a while and further yourself and do well, move up the ladder. If you're showing no incentive, then just, I'm coming here, I'm doing what I need to do, get my check, and then leave. Like, who's going to want to invest in that?
Yeah, because you essentially want them to see, all right, where do I get my cut in this?
Because it's a business proposal.
Yeah.
What you're bringing to them is another business proposal. How can this benefit them?
Yeah.
You make a good argument, and then they'll get paid. Now, look at that. You took that chance, and it became a benefit for you. Now, the rest of your counterpart don't even know and hasn't taken that effort. Now you've got a leg up against your coworker.
Mm-hmm. I forgot who it was that I was following or watching, but he said that I knew it was a rapper. He said you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate.
Yep.
And you have to be able to pull up to the table and negotiate your terms, your salary, your whatever it is that whatever's on the paper, you got to be able to negotiate and work from there. They'll only give you what they deem fit. They have their minimum, maximum, you have yours. You have to be able to negotiate where it's like you basically break even.
Because they're always going to lowball you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Always going to lowball you.
So their lowball has to be your highball, pretty much.
You have to advocate for yourself. Okay? Which is why I personally cannot be loyal to corporate.
Well, in a sense, you really shouldn't be, because think about it this way, right? You had all those blue collar workers who had the factory jobs. What was it when Ford and Chevy and when all of those factory jobs were in state, were on U.S. soil? Those individuals, they had security, they had pensions, they had all that, or at least so they thought. As soon as corporate realized that they could go from, it's cheaper to go elsewhere to export and do the work that way, we'll do it that way. They shut down, clank, clank, gone.
Yep.
Now, all of those people who put in blood, sweat, and tears, some put in like 20 years, maybe even more, into one particular job, one particular company, they barely got out with their pension, their retirement, whatever was left.
Yeah, this is exactly why this generation and the new generation to come have no loyalties. This is why we move so much after 2, 3 years, because before it was worth it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
our parents and the parents before them, it was worth it for them to be at a place 20 something years, because the pension, which is not something that's tied to the market, that was guaranteed money that you would have when you retire, was there for them. They had something to fall back on.
And not to mention, some of them were in unions. So those are strong.
Now,
Mm-mm.
now you have to put the investments yourself, start your own 401k. That's bless you. Thank you. Bless you. Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I really do think it means that money is coming your way when you sneeze like that.
I hope so. With all this sneezing I'm doing, I better be rich by the end of this month.
Mm-hmm.
I be swimming in money, honey.
So what are we having for dinner?
We just paying some bills, you know.
Oh, you paying bills. All right.
Yeah, you know, because Uncle Sam is gonna be looking.
He's
for
not an
his
uncle
return.
of mine. We need to stop calling him that. He's no uncle of mine.
Samuel
Mm-hmm.
coming for his check.
Sam, not the man.
Sam, not the man.
Yeah,
is
but
coming
like
for
you
his
said,
check.
back in the day, it used to be worth it.
Yeah,
It used
Not-
to mean something.
Not now.
Now it's new.
Now you have 401k that's tied to the market. When it goes up, so does your money. When it goes down, so does your money. It gets a hit. It's not stable. It's not steady. Like, and it's basically like almost a Russian roulette in a sense. By the time you get a retirement age, if the amount that you've put in is just as good, if not better, than what you're getting out when it comes time for you to start collecting.
Aww. And that kind of sucks.
And it sucks, yeah.
Yeah, and I think now these days it's like now I feel like we're more conscientious about not just how much money we're making, but like it's like the office morale. Like, what are you about? Because remember, I don't know about you, but I used to work jobs where it's just like, we're a family.
Ugh,
We
I
are
hate when they say that.
family. We're a family unit. Blah blah blah.
Lies.
Ride or die together. I was just like,
Nah.
no, I don't play my family. Let's
Yep.
start with that.
You don't pay your family, and you also don't treat your family the way that some of these so-called family places be treating their workers.
Yeah, I don't do any of that. And then you're dealing with like inner work conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, forget it. It's just like people, they just look at things differently. They
Mhm.
really do. They weigh a lot of their options. I feel like they interview you, but you also interview them to see, listen, are you worth this drive? Are you worth the pay? Are you worth all of this headache? Because you spend just as much time, if not more, at work. You spend more time at work than anywhere else.
Yep.
Post high school.
The only place that you spend just as much time as work is probably your bed.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you opted to go into college.
That's true. You clocked in a lot of time.
You clocked in a lot of time. Post college, bed, work. Because you're too tired to do anything else Monday through Friday.
Yep.
Or if you have multiple jobs, forget it.
Yep. Believe me, it's not easy.
Yeah. Here we are more so we are in a society where for so long you live to work.
Yep. I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. I want a better work-life balance.
Whereas other places, they work to live.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this particular generation and going forward, they're trying to shift it where it's like, no, we have a life outside of this.
Yep.
This is why having multiple streams of income is important for a lot of people, because it's just like, I can afford, I don't want to miss out on, living my best life, whatever that may look like. But I also want to be able to have multiple streams of income to support that. Because if I put all my eggs in one basket,
yep,
there's a potential risk that I could be screwed. And we don't want a repeat of all those factory workers who rightfully so, it was fitting at the time to put all their eggs in one basket only to be screwed in the end. You don't want that.
Nope.
I mean, there's like different documentaries or news reports on like after they've left, like it literally wiped out a community, and you don't realize how big of an impact a certain business can have on the community alone. Think about if what's a big deal over here? Think about if we didn't have any of the colleges nearby.
You kidding me?
And we get a lot of business we get a lot of hype just off the schools, the colleges that are in our area. And off of that, listen, you've got all these college students, they gotta eat.
Yep.
They like to party.
Yep.
They gotta drink.
Yep. And they need a place to live.
They need a place to live. So you have all these other businesses that kind of sprout off of that. Imagine if we were kind of just like a really small town with none of that.
We would be struggling.
Crickets.
Crickets.
So, those types of things are important. They really do. And, I don't blame anyone who's kind of just like, yeah, it's not really for me. I'm kind of like living this nomad life, and that's more my style. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as doing all that because that requires living in a van on purpose. No, thank you. But if that's your vibe, and that's your zhuzh, go for it. But they at least have more confidence to be able to do that now as opposed to way back when. Like it's more accepting now. And I kind of like that. Like, I really do.
To bounce around, that's more accepting now.
It's the idea of like, listen, because they can still work. That's the thing. They can still support themselves. It's not like, I lost my job, I'm down on my luck, I've completely wiped. There's no option. No option for me whatsoever. They're showing you a different way. Like, listen, the traditional way of doing things, while it works and it's proven and it's still successful, there are other ways to do it as well.
Yep.
That's why entrepreneurship is always pushed. Just always pushing the different multiple streams of income. Don't make just your hobby a hobby. Find a passion. And if you can make money off of it, great. Because what I feel like what people are saying is, you can tell me that I could be let go. Like you can fire me today and you have my replacement Monday.
Yep.
But if you're my only option, I've been let go. It takes time for me to find a replacement.
That's true. It's not as easy as it is for corporate.
No, it takes time. So, I mean, loyal to corporate, I can understand the appeal of it. There's a certain stereotype that's attached to that, and I can understand. But at the end of the day, business is a business. They're going to make money. That's their main objective. And you got to be able to be okay with that. And remember, hey, if things don't work out, if this doesn't work out for me, I will be okay and I can jump ship. I want to be able to jump ship before they can me.
That makes sense. I think it's the perfect time to do it.
Yeah. I want to be able to jump ship before they can me. Because I never want to be able in a position where it's just like, this was my only option. And now that it's gone, I have nothing to show for it.
Yep.
You never want that feeling. I can imagine it's a terrible feeling.
It's hard enough when you've worked at a few different jobs and you go there and you haven't been there more than 6 months or more than 8 months or a year. Because employees are looking at it, they're like, oh, why are you moving out so much? Well, you should know the culture of things. And if I'm new and I've just graduated not that long ago, which I've put down on my resume, you should understand I had school. The fact that I was even working during school is like a feat in itself. Because it's not easy going to school full time, working part-time jobs to make ends meet and pay things. And then you're asking questions like, oh, how come you were only there 6 months? Well, I could only work like this for one semester, or I could only work at that place for another semester, or it could only be seasonal because I had school. I couldn't work that often. They want you to out of the womb and have 30 plus experience. It's like, how?
30 plus, I think what gets me is when it's like you, right? Like you went to school, did all that, graduated, you have all this debt, and you were essentially almost promised or led to believe that you were guaranteed positions that would make you more money, the starting salary, only to find out that you're making the same, if not less, than if you had just dropped out, took a job at McDonald's, and worked your way up the food chain.
Yep.
Do you know how irritating that would be?
It is very irritating.
So I've got all this plus this college degree and the debt to match it. Forget it.
And the thing that's disrespectful too is when the employer makes this like company-wide choice that everybody else gets like a raise, right? So then you have these folks that are like coming in last are making more than the people that's been here for like 10 plus years or 5 plus years. And who have been trying to steadily work their way up their ladder, making less than them that just came in the door hot second ago.
That hurts.
It's a slap to the face. And then for them to be like, oh, well, don't discuss your pay and blah, blah, blah. It's not encouraged. Of course it's not encouraged. You want the people that's just coming in telling the people that's been there for this X amount of time that they're getting like $3 to $5 less than the people that just got there and don't even have half the experience that you do. Because then if people start talking, conversations start being had, that people start knocking at the door like, you better level the playing field or we're all walking out.
You got to come to the table with something better now, because now it's time for renegotiations. And some places, they don't want to deal with that headache.
Of course they don't. That's why every year you should be negotiating. And if they're not if you're not negotiating, if they're not going to negotiate your salary, negotiate a bonus, negotiate more time off. Negotiate something. Improve your situation, whatever that may be. Taking less work off of you. If they had tried to add more, trying to negotiate where it's like, listen, you're getting what you're paying me's worth and not a cent more.
Because I got bills to pay. I got a life to live. And I can't do that with you blocking me.
Nope. You can't complain and be like, oh, cost of this has gone up. Yeah, well, cost of everything in living has gone up too. And neither has the check for me to pay all these expenses so I can survive.
Yeah, the check never goes up unless you've faced a stinker. What do you think about, because before, especially now, there's like this pre-COVID and post-COVID world of working. Pre-COVID, the idea of working from home was really more so geared towards those that have been like doing this for a long time, experienced retirees, mommy hours, cool of all that. But for the most part, there's always a push to come into the office, no matter where that office is located, which I think in a sense kind of limits you on where you want to go and it becomes a factor in negotiating pay because it's like, listen, I'm commuting from here to Boston. It's a long commute. I want that to be reflective in my pay. As is in a post-COVID world where a lot of companies, a lot of people are realizing that they're in a position where they could do their job from home. Granted, there are some where it's just like, no, you need to be in the office, which makes total sense. I don't think anyone will ever argue with that. But like, as far as like administrative stuff, I would say more so paper pushers, pencil punchers, whatever they want to call them. Things that just requires really for you to be at a computer typing and all of that. Nothing that requires physical labor, obviously. You doctor, nurse, things of that nature. Obviously, none of those are out the window. But like, if your job you can do from home, do it from home.
Yeah. It changes the work-life balance situation like night and day. I didn't think that I was a work from home person until the opportunity presented itself to me. And I'm like, the things that I now can do. Because the thing is, it's like when you're at work, right?
Yeah.
You don't always have that 5 minutes or that 10 minutes every now and then, especially if it's a situation where it's like you're not a smoker.
Yeah.
So you don't have that built-in excuse for stepping out every 5 to 10 minutes to have a break. it's almost like it's unspoken, kind of frowned upon if you try to take those same similar breaks and you don't have some sort of addiction that's being catered to. You know?
Why are you not glued at your desk, Abby?
Yeah, it's like I need to be chained to my desk. I need to be doing this. So it's like when you work from home, you have the opportunity. If I have some time in between, right? Let's say I'm heading to the bathroom and stuff. Since I'm in the privacy of my home, I can make a quick call. Like, let's say I needed to make a call in regards to like my doctor. You know, and so many people, it's like it's within their lunch break that they're supposed to be using as a legitimately break from this hard days of work.
Yep.
To actually eat a meal when they haven't been eating all day. They're now having to utilize it to make phone calls, to set up appointments and all this other stuff, because by the time they get out of work, most businesses are already closed.
Yeah.
And then they're not open on the weekend. So it's like, what quality of life are you really having when you have to live like this?
Or if they are open, it's like super booked.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally understand. I know for me, I work from home and I rarely use my lunch break to go out to actually eat.
Yep.
It's mostly to like do stuff, run an errand, or if I have like an appointment that I could, like a chiropractor appointment, or like I can run out and do that within the hour.
Yep. That's the best part. You can run from home and still, and then the weekend can actually be yours again. You can reclaim that. It doesn't have to be, oh, now I have to do laundry. Now I have to, do this nail appointment, this chiropractor. Trying to cram every single thing within that one day, or when you get a day off, like maybe once in that month, to cram all this stuff in. And that's if it's not a holiday where most businesses are closed and you can actually do it.
Oh yeah. It's definitely a lot better. I didn't realize that I would be like you. I didn't think it was possible for me to get in a position. I thought I would have to be well seasoned, almost, retiring to get that, because most of the time beforehand, those positions were offered to those that have been like had seniority. So obviously I'm the newbie coming in. That's not going to be afforded to me. Now it's like, oh, forget it. If I could work from home, I will. And if I could, like for me, I would only need to go into the office at least once a week. I can, yeah, that's fine.
Once a week is nothing compared to having to go every day. Like, the thing is, people feel like, oh, the job itself is sometimes the one that stresses you out.
Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you. Well, the job can
stress you out.
Yes, while the job can stress you out, but for a lot of people, it's the commuting that really takes the toll. It's tough enough to get up and be alert and awake and presentable for work. And then to have to do a commute that takes like 4 hours round trip there and back before you even get home or you leave home. It takes a mental toll. People think, oh, it's just commute. It's only half an hour. It's only 45 minutes. It's only an hour. Yeah, that's an hour, 45 minutes of time that you're not paying me, that I now have to additionally give you, that I'm already giving you a lot of my time as it is already, that you're barely paying me for.
And because of where I am, that's an hour and whatever time on a good day.
Yep.
That means there shouldn't be any traffic, weather is cooperating, no issues, no nothing. Just in and out.
Yep. On a good day, it's those.
Yes.
It's the expectation for you to be sitting there. Well, yeah, you need to be on time for this 2-hour commute that you have to do. Wake up 3 hours before you even have to start work. You're not paying me for said hours, okay? Because don't get it twisted. That $2 that you graciously gave because I, tried to negotiate because of this commute I'm making is making a dent in these gas prices. Nowhere in the world is that $2 you're giving is making any dent of it. Because I know by the time it goes through IRS, Samuel gets his cut. This whole called Family Care Act, which is basically, Social Security 2.0. Don't get it twisted, because nobody out here falling for this act.
Okay? Nobody falling for it.
It's a hot mess. It's a hot mess.
Yeah, there's a lot of cut down. Like, for me, commuting to work is non-existent.
Oh, yeah. Saves me so much gas.
So much on gas. I basically go out and do stuff with my car just so I can turn the engine on.
Yep.
All right, it's time for you to run today.
Yep.
Because then you can easily forget, oh, I didn't go anywhere at all last week.
Yeah. Because when you're in the house, it's like
everything is right there for you.
My thing is like people underestimate, sometimes some people underestimate the fact of how much they would be homebodies if they literally did not have to leave their house. I never understood how people would go and buy a house, pay these exorbitant mortgages, and then spend the majority of their time outside the house. And that has nothing to do with work. Like on their free time, they choose to, not because it's a need, like, you know, they have to go for appointments or something like that. No, they physically and mentally choose to leave their house. Okay, it's not like, listen, if I have a house and I'm paying a mortgage, I'm inviting my friends over. We're going to reap this benefit of what this mortgage is paying, okay? We're going to buy some stuff that's going to be a fraction of the price that we would get from the restaurant and make our own choo-choo-choo boards.
Choo-choo-choo boards?
Charcuterie boards, okay?
What is a choo-choo-choo board?
You know, they be giving them all types of names these days, like the wash your sister sauce and all that. Anyways.
I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
All I'm saying is, right, you can have just as much fun and entertainment in the privacy of your home and in the comfort. The dread now, when you get to a certain age of getting up, getting dressed to leave the house.
You're exhausted.
I'm already tired. Just a thought. And I've only thought about it and I'm already tired. It hasn't even happened. And I'm already like thinking about how can I cancel these plans?
Or you do the whole, hold up, what time is it? 9:00. Oh, girl, you don't have to catch me another time. You don't have to catch me another time. I can't be out that late. That means I got to be ready by 8:30 the latest. I got to be in the car, out the no, sorry. This ain't gonna work. But you know, by the time we get home, it'll be midnight, girl.
My thing is like,
you know, the kitchen at the restaurant closes at 10, right? Why you schedule it so late?
I like going out to eat. That is a passion. That is a thing that I love. Okay.
Yes, it is.
But it can get exhausting. Okay. There's only so much you can go out and eat.
That is true.
And then sometimes it's like you go out. And it's not like every single time you go out, you're guaranteed a good experience every single time. It's a 50-50 mixed bag. You never know what you're going to get, literally.
Yeah, because the only thing that you know you'll have a good time is with the people that you go with.
The people you go with. Yeah, that's it.
Your trusted crew. So the other that 50% needs to come from the restaurant if it's not a good experience. That can essentially throw everybody's mood off.
I told you already. The restaurant experience begins when you start parking. If I have to circle around more than once to find a park, if I have to park halfway across town and then trek my way just to get to the restaurant, I'm already having a bad experience. That restaurant may have been a 5-star. It's at a 2-star by the time I get to the door. And that I haven't even gotten to the meal part, the ordering experience, the service, or none of that yet. You're already starting at a 2.
That is just so sad.
Sad indeed, but the truth. Anyone who thinks otherwise, I don't know about you, man.
There's lies.
Of course they're lies. You're going to tell me if you had a horrible experience of trying to park at a place, that's not going to be one of the things that's in the forefront of your mind? That's not going to be the first thing you're thinking of? No.
I
mean, when you're giving someone a whole overview about it, you're not going to think, oh, yeah, it was kind of hard to park. That's going to be the first thing out of your mouth. They're going to tell your friend and be like, listen, I should warn you. It was a nice place, but it wasn't this place, but there's always a but because in your mind, you're always going to be thinking about that negative experience.
I do be looking for the where my parking, where's the parking? And if I can't find it, how's the street parking looking like? And if I know the area, then I'm like, maybe. But if it's like an area that I'm not familiar with or I'm out of town, so there's no valet.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the
valet? I'm paying for valet. Are you kidding me? No.
Excuse me, sir. And who's going to park my car?
I feel like a lot of people too are always like turned off by valet. They see valet and their first thought and automatic like, oh, it's going to be expensive because they know valets for being expensive. But there are restaurants where it's like, listen, you're dropping serious money. Valet is complimentary, but nobody bothers because they just see valet and instantly in their mind, they're like, oh, I've got to pay an exorbitant amount of money for this. When if they took the chance or even looked, they would have found out valet was free. You mean to tell me someone's going to pull up my car to me? Gonna park it for me without a hassle with my cute outfit that has shoes that only goes from car to door and nothing else. Won't have to do this peasant walk.
Yeah, because the restaurant will cover will most likely have a contract with the valet company, which
Yep.
is like a third party, and they cover that. So then you're really tipping the driver.
Yep.
Tipping the valet person.
Yep.
So I mean, if you're already gonna drop mad money for the food, parking the car shouldn't be hard.
Nope. That's why when I go, like, if I have to get like a hotel or whatever in Boston, I'm already ready for that park. I am already.
When I have those types of getaways where it's like I need a staycation in the city,
Yep.
I'm already all right. I done pulled up and I am looking for the valet.
Yep.
I don't care if the garage is right next door. Where is he?
Yeah.
Where?
And because if you think about it too, sometimes the garage averages out basically the same, if not less, when you do the valet.
Mm-hmm.
Because unlike the garage, the hotel gives you a package deal. You're already paying to stay there. Why not get a package that already includes the parking? It's already part of it. Some hotels have that. Or if you make the choice, you could do like, oh, I'll do a package where it's like breakfast or something like that is included if it's not already complimentary.
Ooh.
And that time, if breakfast is already complimentary, guess who's putting part of their package parking? This girl, because we're not going far. We're going to go downstairs. Someone's going to bring my car, have it warmed up if it's in the winter time for me, so I can gingerly walk myself to the door, sit down in the comforts of this seat, have them throw my things in the trunk because, delicate hands just cannot. And drive away.
If I could like pay the valet person to just like cloak me, like in warm clothes and just guide me, I don't want to do all that. Just walk me right to it. Thank you very much. Yeah. I want to be treated extra special.
I don't blame you. Because I heard, what was it? There's a hotel in Boston that also has like a butler service. I'd like to check that out and see what that's about.
I was under the impression that most of them all do. It just depends on. No, they don't.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
it's only some. The older ones I find tend to have those type of services.
Is it like if you order like the presidential suite or something like that?
No, it's like you could just get a regular room and it's part of it.
Really?
But it's not all though. It's only some. I think the Taj I know has.
The Taj is no longer there anymore.
Oh.
It's now something else.
So I don't know if we'll have that. And then I think
they didn't for the regular rooms because I stayed there once. I mean, they didn't have it.
I don't know.
Well, granted, it was during COVID, so maybe it was on shutdown.
Maybe it was shut down. Yeah. So I know there's a
Intercontinental. I feel like the Ritz would probably have something. The
Ritz, yep.
Four Seasons, I feel like would have
maybe the Four Seasons. But I remember looking and I saw a few they did have, and I was actually surprised because I feel like the whole concept. People feel like, the whole concept of like a butler is like so foreign and so, it must be like, super uber duper rich person. But it's like, no, there's a niche for it. There's a whole business and
there's a market out there.
There's a market, exactly. There's a market out there for it, and they make good money. Like you have to go to extensive schooling. You have to learn.
The really good ones.
Oh yeah, like you can make.
There's a lot. I discovered after the shutdown that there's a lot of pet groomers. Pet, basically anything catered towards pets. Yep. Chauffeur, butlers, nannies, babysitters. If you are in the right, if you know where to look, you get the top notch of the top notch, and they make bank. They make bank. You're talking about pensions and unions and that over here. Oh, baby, you can either have Warren Buffett money or Microsoft money, but you better have the funds and whatnot to pay for these, because these guys, they cost a pretty penny and they are worth every dime, in my opinion. My dream is to have my private chef chauffeur, and possibly a butler?
I think my thing would be a butler because I feel like you get more out of a butler. I actually look it up for a hot second,
Yes, you did.
to see how much it was a big of it like, and it's a lot more affordable than I thought it is. It's just there's you can have as low as like 30,000-40,000 a year type of salary to upwards of hundreds of thousands depending on what level and tier of
They can make
qualifications you
six
are.
figures.
Oh yeah, for sure. But my thing is like when I was looking up the difference of if you had like a maid or a driver, whatever, the butler gave you a lot more because
Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Because their repertoire, I saw that depending on the level of skills, they would have the wiggle room to be able to ask them more to do more as part of their employment than you could for like a maid or cook or a driver, because it's like, as the name implies, that's what it is. A butler, on the other hand, can be like a catch for all, where
so the butler would be more of a generalist, whereas the others are more specific.
Yeah, that's the impression I got, because they were like, yeah, you can ask your butler as much as like go pick up the kids from school or pick up the dry cleaning. Yep. Even do like minor cooking and things too, if they have that as part of their skills. Do the laundry. Like they can do those minor things as well as part of like their duties.
I think for me, I would specifically want a private chef and a chauffeur.
I think for me it would be a butler and a maid. Because the thing is, there are times, especially my thing is like they may not have to clean my house like all the time. It may be like a once or twice a month situation, but sometimes like let's say if I'm hosting, I'd want someone to be able to clean that up and I don't have to take care of it. I can just walk away, leave them things on the table, and they take care of it. Or someone's actively cleaning up as the function is taking place. That I would heavily appreciate.
I think I just want my own entourage, to be honest with you.
You can purchase that for a small fee. You can even probably find one on Groupon.
I would want my own, and when I'm talking
you
about,
can buy friends too online.
Nah, y'all got opinions. I don't want y'all talking back to me.
There's a lot you can get online these days.
I want a private chef. I would like the butler. I would like the nanny if I have children, and I would also like the chauffeur, because if you're trying to get me to avoid parking tickets and whatnot, I'm gonna need that chauffeur on deck. Especially if you want me to drive to New York to visit family. Oh hell no, I ain't doing all that.
No.
I would like an assistant. I don't know what kind of business I would have that would require me an assistant, but I'll figure it out and I'll just plop her in there.
See, you're asking for an assistant, but it's
hairstylist.
Oh, I forgot about that. I think I would want a hairstylist on deck. And if I had to choose, it would be a butler.
Girl, I'm not done with my entourage.
And a hairstylist.
I'm not done with my entourage.
Oh, maybe a maid.
I'm not done with
the
my
maid.
entourage.
I can always get someone from Groupon or whatever.
I'm not done with my entourage. I still got 3 more people to go through. I need a publicist because I might get myself in trouble.
Publicist for what? You'd have to be in the public first.
I'm just saying.
Oh, Lord,
in case I need to apologize, I don't really do well with apologies like that. So my publicist is going to be right there, customizing a proper apology letter.
Okay, so then what I'm hearing is you're now going to be the corporate. Are you going to pay these people well? Are you going to be like, we're like family?
Oh, I'm not going to say that bullshit. I'm going to be like, listen here, okay? I is corporate now. I is the star. So in order for y'all to still be employed, y'all got to make sure that I don't F up this check for y'all.
My thing is if I could find like one of those, like, like those secrets, like stuff happened in their past and then like they fell off, but they're really skillful. But because of how they've been living like on the homeless lifestyle, you find like a diamond in the rough situation and you give them like clothing, shelter, food, and all that stuff, and of course they're getting their payment, but it's like, yes, be loyalty. You were there. You helped me out when things were tough. They have like a little bit of that loyalty towards you and stuff. You treat them well, of course. Okay. You going on vacation. They going on vacation. It's a we thing. We's going. And it's not like you're on vacation and they're out here still working for you. It's like, no. the weekends off, go off and do your thing.
Go live.
Go live. Nighttime, 9 to 5. Once you clock out, go do your business. Whatever you do, just don't bring it back to me because I'm not trying to deal with, legal related stuff. But enjoy your thing, but then come back. And it's like, it would be nice to have like someone you legitimately trust and not just like, oh, this person is solely motivated by the money. Like, of course you need to have the money, you need to be able to pay your things. But it's like, if I'm taking care of part of your pay, also your basic necessities, then part of the contract, which I did see online when I was doing some research, is like, you can justify paying a little less if you can provide these things. If I'm already going to have a nice spacious place and it's not going to be no sweat off my back to give you a room and give you access to the food that's I'm already going to be purchasing to buy for myself, why not? Now it's going to be a lot easier to manage a $30,000, $40,000 a year situation when your food, clothing, and shelter is already taken care of by me. Because it's like, where are you going to get this?
I just thought about it now. I need an estate manager.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Who's going to manage my property? Who's going to manage it?
All right.
Oh, and I need to add a fixer.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you want to leave the people with in regards to corporate, the relationship, working, loyalties to it, pre-COVID, post-COVID? What are your thoughts?
I know we went off a little bit of a tangent. I apologize. But I do want to leave with the people. Listen, regardless of which road that you decide to go on, always bet on yourself. Like Abby said, always bet on yourself because that's the most important one that actually matters. That is the top one that matters. At this stage in your life, especially now, you got to be able to be smart. You got to work smarter, not harder. That's something that my dad has always told me. He's like, you got to work smarter. So even if you don't have, a bunch of letters after your name, you got to work smarter than when your mom and I did. We didn't come here just for you to fall on your face and be stupid. You can't do that. So my advice to people, work smarter, not harder.
Listen, what I will
and I would like recommendations for an estate manager.
Please, people, ignore her foolishness. What I would like to leave you all with is this. What my father had always told you is that just like, corporate world, employers can replace you just as easily you can replace them then. It's a job. My father has always told me it is a job. You can find a job at a drop of a hat anywhere at any time. And it's essentially true. The thing is because people are thinking like, oh, I want a certain quality of job. That is why they're of that mindset where it's like, oh, you can't just find any job. Well, the job that's exactly or in the field that you want, okay, it may be a little bit difficult, but it's like if you are not like at that point where it's like you think you're too good or above or too prideful for something or to work a particular job, you will find a job. Like at the end of the day, it's only temporary. No one's saying that you're going to be working at this job for the rest of your life. This is temporary until you find something that's better, but you can still comfortably pay your bills and not be in a situation that's even worse than when you don't have a job.
Bless you. There better be money coming your way because you've sneezed a lot.
Well, that's all I want to leave you people with. Thank you again for tuning in.
And until next time, goodbye.
Bye.